Welcome into Cincinnati Bengals Breakdown by Chat Sports. I am Tom Downey. Post-June 1st free agency targets on today's show. You'll see some players get cut where you're able to free up some more cap space. Most of them already done with the designation, but it's a perfect time to look at the numbers and who the Bengals could still add in free agency. They've got about $15 million in salary cap space at this stage, along with an open roster spot. Now, historically, the Bengals have liked to roll over that unused salary cap space, and of course they've got some big deals due. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Logan Wilson, of course this guy I haven't heard of, Joe Burrow. So the Bengals do want to be smart with their spending, but they could still sign a player if they wanted to, a notable veteran. So predict it for me. Will the Bengals end up signing any more players? Sound off in the comment section. 1 for yes, 0 for no. We begin at the running back position where there is some murkiness as far as I'm concerned. There is Joe Mixon, who is under contract for $10 million, who I assume is going to stick around this upcoming year at that figure, at this stage at least. But the depth behind him, Bengals seem to like Travion Williams. Chris Evans can do some nice third down catching stuff for you. Chase Brown is a 5th round pick, but Mixon goes down. There's not much trust in that running back room, or he gets moved surprisingly somehow. So 5 veteran running backs. We'll go in depth on each of these players, by the way. Leonard Fournette, Ezekiel Elliott, Kareem Hunt, Darrell Henderson, and Kenyon Drake, all veterans who have spent some time in the NFL. Let's begin with another LSU player, or former LSU player, Leonard Fournette. If you could give me 2021 Fournette or playoff Lenny, heck yeah, I'm in. But the one we saw last year, acknowledging the Bucs offensive line was bad, doesn't really appeal to me. 3.5 yards per carry is far below replacement level. That's not valuable, even with the size and speed combo. Still kind of there for Fournette. Now, Ezekiel Elliott had tied himself to the Bengals with the Schefter report from Zeke's camp of Jets, Eagles, Bengals, 3 teams he wants to play for. The Bengals were like, that's news to us. Coming off of basically 4 yards per carry 3 years in a row, Elliott can still do some valuable pass protection things, which the Bengals have always valued from that perspective. He can still be a good short yardage back, and at like $2 or $3 million, there's value. Not at the 10 he was going to make from the Cowboys, but the Bengals haven't seemed to show much interest in Zeke at this stage. So what do you guys think? Do you want Ezekiel Elliott on the Cincinnati Bengals? Y for yes, N for no. It'll be today's pinned comment. So if an ad break happens to come here on the YouTube side of things, take advantage of it. Head down there, Y for yes, N for no. Kareem Hunt is next up here. We'll ride with an Ohio kid again. If counting Zeke's, Ohio State, Hunt's, Browns, it's fine. There's been a trend on this list, and this is why these dudes are unsigned. Efficiency matters in the NFL. Hunt does offer, again, good third down value, but when you have on 123 carries a 3.8 yard per carry figure, that's not very good. And at his age, I think there's some concerns about how much Hunt really has left in the tank. Darrell Henderson, next up here, the fantasy darling at various points in his NFL career. 4.5 yards per carry in 2020 and 2021 on a smaller sample size, and then got cut by the Rams in 2020. Only played in 10 games, and I think there is still some stuff left in the tank for Henderson. It's just a bit curious that the Rams were like, yeah, we're done, whatever, and no one else really made a move for him at this stage. Kenyon Drake is a long-time NFL player, most recently with the Baltimore Ravens. But the efficiency is kind of dwindled. That 2019 campaign, 2020 campaign, almost 1,000 yards in each of them. Good efficiency in 2019. Really good. Raiders paid him big bucks and were like, oops, we messed up. So if a couple of those guys, Hunt and Drake in particular, strike me as more of like, hey, we're keeping Mixon, but Evans is not emerging. Those guys could fill that particular role as more of a third down pass catching back, which Mixon can do. Elliott fits well if you don't trust Williams as your upcoming pass protector. Let's go to the offensive line. As we've mentioned before on the show, it's actually in pretty good shape. The one maybe area could be at left guard, and maybe Dalton Risner could be at least great competition for Cordell Volson. And at this stage, Risner's not going to get the deal I thought he was going to get, what I think he thought he was going to end up landing. I think you're looking at a one-year prove-it deal, which could make sense. I mean, I think he's better than Max Sharping. No disrespect to Max Sharping intended, but adding more offensive line talent is always a good thing, as the Bengals have seen over the years. I want you guys to play the role of GM for me and name a free agent who you want to sign. Could even be multiple players in the end. Put on your thinking caps, head down to the comment section, and let me know. Another potential area of concern is at the defensive tackle spot, where I love DJ Reader, I love BJ Hill. You're banking on year 3 breakout from Zachary Carter, Josh Tupou, Jay Tufele. That's not the most confident depth. Good news, there are some notable veterans who are on the market that could help, if only for a year. Matthew Ioannidis, the former Panther commander, Michael Brockers of the Lions, Akeem Hicks of the Bucks, and Shelby Harris of the Seahawks, at least the most recent 4 teams, because, they're free agents. I've always liked Matthew Ioannidis, by the way. He's played some 5 tech, some 3 techniques, solid run stopper. Could be a really good defense tackle 4 for you. I don't know how much, if anything, Michael Brockers really has left in the tank. 4 tackles last year. He kind of fell off a cliff. Injuries a part of that. Akeem Hicks got paid too much by the Bucks last year. He's still more of a run stopper. Shelby Harris, though, wasn't too bad last year. That could be a nice July signing for the Bengals. If the Bengals do make a signing, we will break it down for you. Because when stuff happens, we have you covered. We're trying to get to as many videos each and every single week we can for you guys. It's a growing channel. We need your help. Subscribe. That way I can keep doing more Bengals videos and you can keep watching them. Hit that sub button for free right now. I actually thought about the quarterbacks, and I know they signed Trevor Siemian as soon as the comp picks are no longer impacted, although I don't think he got the deal that really impacted too much there. The Bengals taking approach, I'm actually fine with. I view this approach of Trevor Siemian, Jake Browning behind Joe Burrow as you know what? If Burrow goes down, we're screwed anyway, so let's not invest too much in the backup room. But there are 2 notable free agents out there who could be an upgrade, not including Cam Newton, since I think that one's kind of dead in the water. Carson Wentz and Teddy Bridgewater. Now, of the 2, I think I'd rather have Teddy Bridgewater. I think he is a willing backup. I don't know if Carson Wentz checks that box right now. I think Bridgewater, even though his numbers were not great last year, we've seen better play in recent years. Wentz, the Colts, I don't know how they got a pick back for him. It was an incredible trade because he was bad in Indianapolis. The numbers were a bit deceptive. There were too many lucky breaks in Wentz's favor. He was bad with the Commanders. He can be a backup, though. But I think Bridgewater's style fits better as a backup than Wentz, who had some issues in Philadelphia from that perspective. Finally, the cornerback room. I think it's in decent shape. I just am a little bit anxious about if injuries happen, do you have enough true proven depth on that roster? So let's hit some players, veteran guys who maybe have a year, if that, left in the tank. Eli Apple might actually have more years on him. Marcus Peters, Ronald Darby, Byron Jones, big asterisk on his name, as we'll get into here, and Casey Hayward. Eli Apple, of course, was a Bengal last year, and I thought he played better than what we expected Eli Apple to play, given some previous issues in his past. No interceptions, but the elite trash talker, maybe not everyone views it as elite, but I do, actually fared pretty well. The numbers you see on screen here for Eli Apple, 57% completion rate, 657 in the yards, 3 scores, better than most of these 5 guys we're going through. Marcus Peters, I don't know if he has anything left. The yards and the touchdowns really jumped up this year. 711 and 7 touchdowns in 13 games played is a lot to get beat by. He's always been a ball hawk, but those numbers went down in interceptions as the yards and TDs went up. Now, Ronald Darby got hurt last year, only played in 5 games. The 5 games played were really good, though. Part of it being, you got Patrick Surtain, makes life easier on you, too. So if Darby's healthy, as an inside-outside piece, I am intrigued by, kind of in the same DJ Turner mold. Byron Jones has been a really good corner at times in his NFL career, a bit of a lockdown, one side of the field guy. The numbers in 2021 were not very good. A lot of the yards allowed because Dolphins play man coverage, put their corners on an island. The big issue for Byron, he wasn't healthy at all last year, and he kind of seemed to retire but didn't fully. I don't know if he's going to play football ever again. If he does, bring him in, see how he's doing. Casey Hayward. Now he's next up here. Only played in 6 games last year. Long-time veteran corner, reliable player. He'd be a solid vet addition if that's the route the Bengals want to go at corner.